When the sky returned, sky blue. Sky blue is what I feel when I look inside my heart. Not gray, not crimson, not the smoke black color of survival, but sky blue. The kind of blue that only appears after the storm finally exhausts themselves. I stand at a crossroads surrounded by ghosts of who I used to be, versions of myself that I carried for protection, versions I sharpened into weapons, versions I loved even while they destroyed me. And somehow, I let them go. No matter what I've lost, I've learned to become still, like water resting in a glass cup, like an ocean no longer ashamed of its tides. I am allowed to shift. I am allowed to soften. I am allowed to become something new. The days move steady and the nights move long, as if life keeps whispering the same lesson into my spirit. This is a marathon, not a race. So now I try to keep pace with who I truly am instead of chasing the illusion of who I thought I needed to be. For a long time, I was a soldier stranded on a battlefield long after the war should have ended, and eventually, war became my language. Until one day, my armor cracked open, my sword rusted from the blood spilled trying to survive. My shield grew so heavy that I could barely carry myself anymore. And that's when it happened. That's when I lost my hunger for war, the hunger for pride, the hunger for dominance, the hunger to always win. I realized the path that I was walking had no finish line, only more fire, more graves, more loneliness disguised as strength. So, I surrendered. Not weakly, not shamefully, but truthfully. With a white flag raised high, trembling hands, accepting forgiveness if it came and accepting death if it didn't. I became okay with falling in battle. I became okay with never touching a sword again, because my helmet had become a prison around my own thoughts. Everything that I was had become ego wrapped in armor forged from trauma, fear, and the desperate need to control what hurt me. And the harder I charged forward with rage in my chest and fear in my veins, the more life answered me with tragedy, grief, guilt, doubt, and even depression. I thought I had a mission, but really I was poisoned. Tunnel vision consumed me, a point to prove consumed me. Meanwhile, the war inside my heart was way deadlier than any war outside of it. So, I stopped. Not because I feared death, but because I was finally ready to live, ready for a new chapter, even if it required the death of the warrior my pain had created. Yes, we traveled far. Yes, we tasted glory. But glory does fade, and peace does not. Peace feels closer to heaven than conquest ever could. So I went AWOL from the violence. I abandoned the battlefield not in terror, but in search of my humanity. And strangely enough, no spear, no sword, or arrow ever pierced me on my way out. Only silence, only reflection, only the sound of my own footsteps leaving destruction behind me. Some will call me weak, and others will call me dishonorable. But there is no honor in hollowing out your own soul while destroying others just to feel powerful. Those were lives, and I never had the right to decide their fates. Only mine. Only mine. There is no greatness in becoming a weapon. There is no wisdom in creating enemies out of people simply because you see differently. What kind of strength is built entirely off of blood and smoke? I said I see sky blue when I look inside my heart, because somewhere beneath all this ruin I still see hope. I still see serenity. I still see patience, and the patience required to become gentle again. I don't know exactly where I'm going, but anywhere is better than the blood-soaked gravel I once took for home. War only creates more war, even if battlefields exist inside yourself. So for now, I will sit, long enough to remember that I was never born to conquer, but I was born to love fully, deeply, without the armor. And while I accept the pain, the losses, and the suffering that shape me, I refuse to let them become my future. So I surrender, not to defeat, but to peace, because I finally remember something sacred. I was a person before the world taught me to become a soldier. Sky blue is what I feel when I look inside my heart. And although I don't know where I'm going, I finally know where to start. Sky blue. Sky blue. Ashe.